What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you on Lucid, more specifically this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility in the stock price. I also want to talk on what AI is saying about Lucid as well as analysts. So I'm going to give you a very good summary of everything that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So based on Friday, it did close 0.95% in the green, 12.9 million shares being traded, 28 is the average, so a little bit low. But then again, Friday, like I already said on my last video, was a shorter day, so it closed at 1 o'clock. As far as data points to really watch for this upcoming week, there's only two things, one of which is on Wednesday, so that is GDP numbers. Second is Thursday, and that is PCE. The Feds typically like to look at PCE, whereas mainstream media for inflation and whatever else looks at CPI. But again, PCE is what the Feds use, so this is one very hot kind of data point to really watch for going for this upcoming week. Specific to Lucid though, there has been no recent SEC filings, no PR, nothing like that. And looking under their website, there is no real upcoming events for this upcoming week. It does state between November the 24th and the 26th, there's just that Dream Ahead Golden State show. So that's a fairly good thing, but other than that, there is nothing planned in the foreseeable future. And also on a side note, I did give them praise in the past because whoever was managing Lucid's website was on point. They definitely changed things, did a 180 from Jeff Curry, if I remember, I think that's his name. But whoever's doing it now is starting to slip. So they're not really providing that many updates, because if you are on Twitter, for instance, you're finding out that they're participating in some events, whereas their website doesn't really show that. So for those individuals that aren't on social media, you're kind of missing out, unfortunately. So once again, just on a recommendation or kind of what I've noticed. But there's a couple of things I just wanted to share with you before I get into what analysts have been doing, and as well as what AI is saying about Lucid. So I have brought up shorts quite frequently, so I'll give you an overview of what is happening. So on Friday, shorts did increase 1.75 million shares, 28.01% of the free floats being shorted, 248.14 million shares overall are being shorted, and cost to borrow average is 17.16. And so during my, I guess I did two videos last week, both of which I did say that, you know what, like shorts aren't really doing anything with a lot of other stocks that are squeeze plays and whatever else, but in Lucid, shorts are very active. And I kind of insinuated that whoever is shorting Lucid must be outside of the States, because the States had Thanksgiving and obviously a lot of people just took it off in general for the whole week. You can kind of tell that based on the overall volume. But one thing that stood out to me, and I guess a lot of people started to comment saying it's the PIF, blah, blah, blah. I don't see the PIF being the cause of shorting it, but rather maybe it coming from Canada. So I just wanted to play this quick snippet from you. It's about 1 minute and 24 seconds long. And he does say, so Wes Christensen is a lawyer that does go against shorting and whatever else. And obviously, I'm sure some of you that are subscribed to my channel, you know I cover Mullen. So he's involved in a lawsuit for Mullen and to go against naked shorting and whatever else. So even though a lot of people don't necessarily talk about manipulation for Lucid, it is to note that Lucid has 2 times more shorting than even Mullen, than even AMC. So a lot of people don't necessarily talk about that, but Lucid is being manipulated quite significantly. So again, I'm just going to play this quick snippet. It's about 1 minute 24 seconds long, that does kind of point to that something is coming out of Canada in a negative way. So meaning the Canadians, so not me particularly, but maybe RBC or some of the big banks are shorting Lucid because there's a little bit more looser laws on shorting. So once again, I'm just going to quickly play this. So let me know your thoughts on this, and then I'll quickly go over some other data points after that.
And puts a nuclear bomb that can implode the world. That's my view. I'm to be transparent, I'm not as up on the Canadian side. I've been up there, done a lot of work there with my friend at Pollier Roland, Chris Pollier. He's a fabulous lawyer, and we're working on something. I can't really divulge what that is, but we're trying to look into the ways to do it. But it's just tougher in Canada, and we're better to piggyback off the American jurisprudence, which I'm hoping is going to get followed by the courts if anything gets filed there. But they don't have to do that legally. They can look at it. They do have to do that legally in court in the United States. So that case takes this atom bomb they're sitting on and puts a nuclear bomb that could implode the world. That's my view. But imagine what the contingent liability is that's sitting out there on the books of these brokerage firms, even at mark to market. What these today. And it's not just what's here, ladies and gentlemen. It's what's overseas, because we're now seeing massive more activity overseas. And I'm pursuing that. As I say, our team are pursuing that, and everybody on the phone.
So there you have it. So it might not necessarily be like international, like Europe. It could be, but I think if anything, those individuals and brokerages that are shorting Lucid and manipulating it might actually be out from Canada. So once again, I just wanted to throw that out there. So when it comes down to options going into next week, like I insinuated on my Friday video, a little bit more negative. In fact, 75% of all the options on Friday was bearish. But if you kind of take a step back, I just wanted to share this with you. So this is compiled based on all the 13F. So that's institutions disclosing their positions to the SEC. And within Q3, there was about 5.6 million call options purchased by hedge funds, which is absolutely huge. That is an increase of 40.45%. It's right at the bottom right here, but 40.45% over the quarter prior. And all 13F filers, 22.99 million. So a lot of institutions do hold a lot of call options with Lucid because they do see upside coming. And I think that's one thing that a lot of investors can agree on, that Lucid has been just undervalued for a very long time. Just, we know what we hold. Ultimately, we know that bigger picture, Lucid is going to get their crap together, start producing a lot more vehicles. It's just the right stock, just not necessarily has been the right time. But that's a separate video and all the other fun jazz. And keep in mind though, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence. So I just wanted to share this with you because I do see that as very optimistic. As well, I have been monitoring, it might be a little bit more premature, but Q4 earnings. So I've been monitoring what some analysts have been doing. And as you can kind of see, based on the earnings per share, there was 9 analysts that had a consensus of negative 34 cents, and that's for Q4. And it did get reduced down to 5 analysts. So 4 analysts removed their ratings or their estimates, and it went from negative 34 to negative 30 cents. So that does mean that the bearish analysts removed their estimates. So that could be seen as very, very optimistic. So let me know your thoughts on that. And while I'm on here, I've brought this up already in the past, but there's been no real new analyst ratings. So last was from Bank of America 9 days ago, $7 price target. So I'll kind of match that with what AI is going to be saying in a second. But if you are looking for a lot of good compiled information, such as analyst ratings, forecasts, everything under the sun, take a look at Interactive Brokers for all of this to be completely free. Just click on the link in the description below or the comments. So definitely recommend in doing that. But like I mentioned, AI. So consensus analysts have around $5.21 as a price target collectively. And looking at AI, so you can kind of see based on this article, so Chat GDP predicts Lucid stock price predictions starting for 2024. And if you kind of scroll down, it just highlights what Lucid's been doing, how they're burning through a lot of cash. Under here, it kind of talks on what analysts have been really saying about it, but it says, what does Chat GDP think? So ultimately, they do say that, or it says, I don't know what it is, but $8.65 by the start of 2024. So ultimately, 1 month from now, it is predicting almost a 100% increase in the stock price. Obviously, there's no real validity to this, no credibility, because it's just talking on just speculation. It doesn't really give much justification on how or why it's going to get over that 100% rate. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below as well. What is your thoughts on analysts removing their ratings? I kind of saw that as optimistic, oddly enough. And again, when it comes down to Canadians potentially shorting Lucid, what's your take on that? So don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, there is a couple days left with this promo. So sign up for an account with Moo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So definitely take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.